Let's use the list a little bit to open up to the current day. Again, LeBron being number 2 on your list, and we just talked about how back in the day, Jordan, you had to be a real SOB in that time of the bad boy Pistons, and obviously the Ewing, Pat Riley coached Anthony Mason, right? Sharp elbow Knicks, so on and so forth. And a little bit of that, if not a lot of that, is lost today in the current NBA. That said, LeBron saying he wants to play every game, to me, is awesome. At his late stage, for him to say, I do not want to be load managed. My intention is to play every game. Certainly when you're seeing, and again, we're in a fantasy league here, when there's 21-year-olds that suddenly are a game time decision due to an illness, and there's 23-year-olds that are suddenly, doubtful because of a sprained ankle that they're resting on a back-to-back, suffered 5 games ago. You really do have to give it up to what LeBron is doing and how he is playing at this stage right now. How sustainable do you think these Lakers with J.J. Redick and him and Anthony Davis are, David?
I think is it sustainable? I mean, maybe. We've always, worried about health, right? At the end of the regular season and into the playoffs with these guys. And that's been the problem the last couple of years for them, is that they haven't been healthy in May and June when they needed to be healthy, or healthy enough, let's put it that way. So that's always going to be an issue, but do they have enough around them? I mean, look, Connect's really helping them. I think Austin Reeves is still a really good player. I think Hachimura is still a really good player. So I think they have enough, but it's all about their health. And I think JJ's playing through Davis makes a lot of sense, and getting LeBron to kind of see that and be okay with that is part of, the same thing that Phil did with Michael back in the day, right? Understanding that you got to pass the ball, you got to trust your teammates, and that's a hard thing. Not that I'm not saying LeBron didn't trust AD, but they played through LeBron until this year, right? And so now they play through AD, and that makes a lot more sense. And I think it keeps LeBron fresher, and maybe it preserves him longer into the season. So, but none of it matters if AD's not available in May and June, and that's where, I just don't know yet, and I don't think any of us will know until we get there, if he can be at his best when his best is required.
Number 41 on your list, let's talk about him. His name is Joel Embiid, and I guess my question for you is, what is up with him? How about that? You can go in any way you want with that very open-ended question. What is up with Joel Embiid, David?
I mean, it's a mess, Rich. It's a mess. Joel has always been, for all of his kind of playfulness, he always was kind of sober about the game, right? He wanted to be great, and I don't know where his headspace is right now. I was up there a couple weeks ago when he came back, and he just doesn't seem like the same guy. There's no joy. There was no joy in him when I saw him. And there's always been a little bit of joy in him. He's always been kind of, friendly, and not towards me. I don't mean towards me, but I just mean just generally. And I know he was just coming back from the injury, and he had the whole thing with the columnists, the suspension that was bothering him too. But for them to win, he's got to play with joy, and a sense of dominance. And I did not see that from him. That doesn't mean it won't be there in a month, but I didn't see it when I was there. And that would concern me if I'm the 76ers, because they can't win without him. They need him to be MVP level Joel Embiid, the guy that looks forward to going up against Jokic in the regular season and dominating, as he's done many times. So that is the guy they need to have any chance to get out of the East.
Well, what meat can you put on the bones of like what's in his headspace that he's joyless? I mean, Paul George is there. Maxey is obviously somebody that is dynamic as a young talent. I mean, the general manager obviously loves him. I mean, is it the coach? Is it the situation? Like what causes him to be joyless, David?
Yeah, I don't think it's Nick Nurse. I mean, I don't think it's Nick Nurse. Are there things are there ways he wants to play that he's expressed to them? I'm sure that's true. Yes. But I don't think that's why he's not happy. I think it's a combination of the injuries, you know, continuing to keep him from playing at his best, but him trying to get out there and play and not being at his best, and fans getting on him. And you know, again, I think the thing with his brother and his son being mentioned in the column really bothered him. Okay, like I don't, you know, like I just think that really touched a nerve with him that I'm not sure is still healed, and that may take some time to heal. But I think overall, it's more that his knee is not where he needs it to be, and he's dragging himself out there, and he's not playing anywhere near his capabilities. So, to me, I'm not privy to his X-rays, but it seems to me we're going down a path toward, look, to get this thing right, you may have to get this thing fixed. You know, if it's not responding, then maybe there's something more there that needs to be fixed. And so that may be a conversation 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. But you know, until I see Joel Embiid playing physically the way he's capable of, I would be concerned about his physical standing and what his knee is like, because he doesn't look like himself at all right now.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.